Welcome to Smash Writing. I am Paul. This is Justin. And today we are going to talk about, in this edition of Remake, Original versus Remake, My Bloody Valentine, in honor of Valentine's Day. Yay!
I've celebrated this holiday one time. It was the best. Two of the women from work got together and bought me packs of cigarettes. I will always remember.
Me and my wife celebrated, but every day's a Valentine's Day when you have a good marriage. So
that's a
lie. But
I've seen your relationship. I know better.
Hey, she's still here with our daughter. But let's get into it. Let's talk about. We'll start with our opinions on the original. So go and break down the plot.
Break down the plot, shall we? The movie starts out with the miner killing a woman who's trying to seduce him in the mine. Before we make a jump to the showers, where a group of miners are getting ready to leave for the day, ascending onto town to help set up a Valentine's Day party. We learn a few small things about the character, notably that Axel is the one with TJ's ex-girlfriend, Sarah. Relationship that started with TJ up and left town to try and make it on his own. And that this is the first Valentine's Day party to happen in 20 years.
Because of Harry.
Because of Harry. Damn him. Meanwhile, the mayor receives a heart-shaped box of chocolate hearts with an actual heart inside of it, along with a warning about what happened long ago. Later at the bar, we learn about the curse on the town, and 20 years ago during the Valentine's Day party, where everyone in town was at, but 7 were there. 5 in the mine, and 2 supervisors, who got impatient and they left before the 5 came up, not checking the methane levels and the explosion and the trap the miners. It took
Where's OSHA at?
West Virginia, you know. Our family from there.
That's why you can speak on it.
It took 6 weeks and only 1 came out. Harry Warden. After a year in an institution, he came back, killing the supervisors and cut up their heart, placing them in the heart-shaped boxes, leaving them at the party, warning them to never hold another party again. And as the story went, he would come back every year to make sure they're not having one. Meanwhile, the mayor and sheriff try to reach the institution, and the coroner tells them, "Doesn't see human heart. What the fuck is that?" How did I write that down?
You just swore.
I think I was low enough not to be caught. The mayor wants to cancel the party, and when the sheriff goes to talk to Mabel about it, he discovers that she's been killed the night before and her body's in the wash. The sheriff agrees to cancel the party after another note is found, but everyone keeps it quiet and they hold a party anyways, trying to avoid a panic, but the teams just move the party to the mine. And obviously this angers Harry, who starts killing everyone. But it turns out at the end that it wasn't Harry all along. It was in fact Axel, who was the supervisor's kid and was there the night Harry killed him and saw the murder happen.
And it messed with his head.
And it ends with Axel, I believe, escaping.
Yeah, with his arm cut off because he's
he
laughing
lost his arm.
He's
Yeah.
laughing as he goes deeper in the mine and says, "Me and Harry will come get you guys," or something like that. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure.
Talking about my bloody Valentines and.
Yeah, pretty sure the deeper you get in that tunnel, there's not going to be much oxygen for you to come back. But
Well, he knows how to get out of it. It's Axel. That's fine.
that's true.
Pros and cons. I really enjoyed the gore in this movie. I thought they did really well, and I liked
We were talking about okay, so the pro is definitely the gore. The next pro,
the look of the miner. I love the look of the miner.
Yeah,
It's such an intimidating thing to see coming at you. Is that the old miner outfit?
yeah, with the pickaxe. I think having that image was really probably what carried both films.
Yeah.
Really was the look of the miner. They kept it the old school miner, the scary looking miner.
And the black overalls, the black mask.
Yeah.
I thought the actors and actresses in this were really good. Paul Kelman as Tom, Laurie Haller as Sarah, and Neil Affleck especially as Axel. Yeah, I thought they did really well. I thought the script between the three, the love triangle we have going on here, wasn't the greatest.
Probably was a con.
I don't think it was a full-fledged con because it was much. We'll talk about them going in a much different direction in the remake.
Here's the thing. So, Tom wanted to leave town to go surviving on his own or whatever.
Yeah.
Sarah was his girlfriend, and then he just picked... You couldn't take your girlfriend with you?
She might not have wanted to leave.
Maybe so. The triangle, I do think, like, I guess you have to have a subplot in the plot. I do think the acting amongst them was alright, but I do think it was, like, stiff everywhere else.
Yeah.
I
liked all the side characters.
Yeah, I mean, everybody played their part. I don't know, I just don't think the rest of the people carried the film enough.
Yeah.
This, as I was talking before, like, this film kind of...
Oh, I did read a fact about this movie, though. It got hit a little bit by the MPAA. Because at the time, I guess Friday the 13th was pushing it a little bit too much with them. And then on top of that, they had the John Lennon murder. So they were cutting back on violence, so this movie got hit a little bit.
Yeah.
At least that's what I read.
Well, still, the original cut, I don't think, like, if you would add more gore into it, okay. Would it have it changed my mind where I'm sitting at with it? Probably not.
No, because I did like what they had. I loved they spiked the woman on that pipe and the water was coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
That was great. Great. The scene of the body coming out of the washing machine.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. The good kills. This is a really good slasher.
Yeah. And we were talking about this off camera, and it's a shame that, like, this fell. Like, for me, I can rewatch this film.
Yeah.
And that's how I usually was like, if I can watch it again, I know I'm going to like it. But it does seem like this film kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
The love triangle, I would say probably a con. The act, everybody else's acting was more kind of on the stiff end. And what? Okay, I have to talk about one particular scene in this original film that kind of irked me. So it's the townspeople coming into the mine.
Yeah.
And it's the three main characters basically duking it out on the mine train. Now, the mine train is going extremely slow, because it's just jobs to carry people for a long distance. Well, when the town people come in, the three hop off the slow-moving train, and then literally the train is right in front of the people, and they're like, we can't see where everybody went.
Yeah.
Dude, you're like 15 feet from the scene. That was probably, I don't know if that was like maybe not their intention, like just showing you like the train moved along, but we knew from watching the train was going extremely slow. If you would have seen the train, like literally the train was like right in front of that group of people, you would have seen the three main characters. You cannot tell me otherwise. That was just poor editing, maybe, I don't know, but I was just like, they're right there. Where are they? They're right in front of you. That irked me. Like that, if there's one scene in the entire film that irked me, for some odd reason, it was that film. Like if they would have put another scene in there to kind of indicate that the train was farther along than we believed,
yeah.
I would have been okay with it. But they didn't put another scene there. It was literally, they jumped off the train, next scene, here comes the people. Where are they at? They're right there.
Alright, great time.
I'm giving this a C, 71%. And I'm giving an exact amount, and you'll see why.
Now, past Justin gave this an A. This present Justin's going to give it a B+. I did like the slasher element. I did love the miner. I really love this miner outfit. And the look, the gore was good. The premise was alright. Like I said, some of the acting was good. It was just good enough. It's entertaining. B+.
All right, now in 2009, they decided to release the remake. Um, the remake came out in '09. It was my first experience with watching it. But give us that plot.
Running through 2009. This one starts off with a series of news stories explaining interview segments over the explosion at the Hanniger mine. Hanniger mine?
Yeah.
And Tunnel 5, triggered by Tom, son of the miner who forgot to bleed the methane lines, burying 6 miners deep into the mine. Then one survivor, Harry. This time, though, they tell you what happened. That Harry killed the other survivors, and because he was trying to save his own oxygen. And he's in a coma for a year, and he wakes up and he kills everyone in this hospital. And he heads back to the mine, which is where we meet Sarah, Tom, Axel, and Irene. There's a little party going on inside. Axel is running his mouth to them. I'll beat that guy's ass, talking about Tom who hasn't shown up yet with Sarah. And they show up and they start going in the mines. You can tell Tom is really not. He doesn't want to go back in that mine. The guilt of what happened is weighing on him big time. He does not want to go back in. But he goes back because he forgot the beer in the Jeep. So Sarah goes on ahead, and we see the miners already at work killing everyone. Axel, Sarah, and Irene just manage to get away from him, but he traps Tom, and they leave Tom. They drive away without Tom. They leave Tom with Harry. And the sheriff shows up. They shoot Harry, who they get a blood splatter right in Tom's face, and Harry scrambles away. And now we jump ahead 10 years. And Sarah's now married to Axel. They have a kid. Axel is cheating on her with Megan.
And Axel's like a deputy.
He's now like the chief of the sheriff
Yeah.
of the town. He's still the same asshole. Like, this guy's an asshole. I swore again. Yeah.
So we're trying to go clean and do a no swearing, but Justin yelled at me like, dude, the new YouTube guidelines, we gotta cut the swearing.
Axel's a real jerk in this movie. But Tom shows up back home because his dad died, and he's there pretty much to sell the mine. He doesn't want to be there, and he learns from Ben, and he has to stay there at least until Monday. And he's not happy about it, but he's like, oh, I'll see you Monday. I'm selling this mine on Monday.
And the town doesn't want it because they know the town is going to get, the new owners are just going to shut it down.
Yeah.
The town depends on, the mine as its main source of income for the...
But that night, we see the miner. The miner takes out Irene and Frank, the driver, which is his credited name is Frank the driver, and the little person who's running the hotel. And so they start, and Axel gets a heart-shaped box with a heart in it, much like Harry Warden all those years ago. But Tom ends up going down to see Sarah, and Sarah berates him over wanting to sell this mine. So he goes down to the mine. He's going to meet with Ben and talk about things when the miner attacks him in the shaft and kills one of the people. But as it goes along, and the miner is getting more and more ruthless, and all the old timers are like, Harry is dead. There's no way it's him. And then you find out the reason they know he's dead is because they killed Harry. They tracked where he went that night and killed him and buried him and just left it at that. So as it goes along, you finally get into the mine with Axel, Sarah, and Tom, and you find out that it's been Tom all this time. He's imagining the miner, and it's kind of like overtaking him, like a dual personality kind of deal. And at the end, they believe Tom is dead, and you get a little moment of hand-holding, I think it was, with Sarah and Axel. All is forgiven. And then you see Tom is still alive, too. He's dressed up like a firefighter, and he escapes the scene.
Oh, I forgot that scene. So okay.
Okay, I got some problems with this movie, but let's talk about the pros first. I love the brutality in this movie.
They didn't hold back.
No, they did not.
There was no restrictions.
You had shovels cutting people's faces in half. Like, when he took out that little person in the hotel room, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Good Lord, that was brutal.
Yes.
Some of the words he like uppercuts her under the chin with the pickaxe and spikes her into the ceiling of the hotel.
Yes.
It is
Oh my
brutal.
God, yes.
Yeah, a scene where he chucked the pickaxe and put it through a guy's head.
Yeah, no doubt the kills were, like, for a slasher film, they were like top tier kills.
Yeah.
The one thing that I give credit for this one, they didn't just rely on the original movie. They took it a step farther.
Alright, we're going to talk about a little bit about this too now. I hated this love triangle.
More than the first triangle.
Far more.
Yes.
Because first off, Axel, jerk times 11. A-hole to the extreme. He's an a-hole at the beginning of this movie.
Outright, yeah.
Just outright. He stops Sarah from helping Tom and then pretty much just forces them to leave.
Okay, question about this with Axel. So, when Tom's like getting his butt like nearly killed by
Harry,
you're talking about a guy's personality going, let's leave him, and then he ends up becoming a cop.
Yeah.
You see where that contradicts right there?
I feel like we're treading some bad waters here. Let's come back.
Okay.
But then it's like you learn that Axel is cheating on Sarah. With her employee, because I think Sarah's running the grocery store.
Yeah, she runs.
So he's cheating on his wife with his wife's employee. And the only reason he's going to get away with this is because Megan ends up dead.
But Megan was pregnant.
Yeah, Megan was pregnant with Axel's kid.
And
so
when Megan told him, there was a scene in the film where like she does reveal that, hey, you are the baby's dad. He gets like real pissed.
Yeah, he seems like he's upset by this. Like this is not good for him. He's gonna lose Sarah, and
who apparently doesn't care about because he's cheating.
Yeah. That's not forget he does have a kid at home too.
This is so big.
Tom is such an obviously better person than Axel, but then you try to big brain yourself here because Axel is the original killer, so you want to try to swerve the audience by making Tom the killer. And then I get this sweet moment at the end between Sarah and Axel. And it's like, no, she's still the victim in all this crap because he didn't. He's
going to cheat on her again.
He didn't learn anything in this movie.
Oh my God.
And like this is like my second or third time watching this movie and trying to rewatch it as hard as it's like, man, I feel bad for Sarah.
Right?
She ain't getting a happy ending in this movie.
No, she really isn't because
Axel is dodging a bullet. He gets to survive and he gets to.
Because you can kind of see like, they did this with the first film too. Is like Sarah still technically has feelings for Tom.
Yeah.
And when Tom comes back in the picture,
like you even see it like when she first learns that Tom's in town. Like she goes into her room, her joy box is the pictures of her and Axel. And she lifts up the bottom, and there's the picture of her and Tom from that night.
Yeah, like Tom, and then it sucks because you're like, okay, something tells you Tom's going to be damaged goods in this film, but yeah, I think Sarah took such a beating, not only trying to, who she didn't know that Tom at the time she thought it was Harry that was trying to kill her, but it's Tom with his issues of surviving what Axel basically put him through.
Yeah, because like Axel left him with Harry. And Tom messed up, and it cost him dearly. It was a bad mess up. I'm not trying to like get him off the hook or anything because he didn't bleed the methane lines, and that resulted in.
But you saw that he knew he messed up and he was punishing himself as this, which is
But then it's like Sarah even had a line in this when she's berating him about selling the mine. We were all in this together, supporting one another. I'm like, no, you all left Tom in that mine. He didn't even want to be up there. He came because you wanted to go.
He did it for you.
I end up feeling more bad for Tom in this movie.
At one point, you were almost like rooting for Tom to be a killer because you're like, dude, this dude took some beatings. He took some crap. He needs to punish somebody.
And I like them big braining themselves and doing the role reversal. It's like, oh, that's not right. Tom's a better person. even if he doesn't end up with Sarah at the end of it, he still didn't. Making him the killer is kind of like, oh, that's cool. No. Axel deserved to die.
And then Axel he's the one who gets the happy ending.
Yeah,
He basically loses his mistress, who's going to come clean and say she was pregnant. So he doesn't have to deal with his mistress or his child with her.
He survives Tom.
He survives Tom. Sarah with Tom, who the characters believe is dead. So Axel now has that peace of mind that Sarah's true love is out the door completely now. He still gets his wife.
Yeah.
He's the hero.
Yeah.
I mean, not the hero. He's the one of these three main characters that least deserves the happy ending, but gets the happy ending.
And that does really hamper this movie a lot, because I'm trying to watch it. It's like, God, I just hate this direction.
So what would you give it?
A B minus.
Still very generous.
The gore helps it. The gore and Jensen. Because I thought Jensen did great as Tom.
So
that dude can play up sympathy in a movie, and dear God, he's good at it.
I'm giving this one a C as I did the original, but I'm giving this one a 72%, which means this will be my winner of the two.
My winner is the original.
Ooh, we split.
Split vote.
Split vote. Now, I'm giving the winner to the remake because the kills were really good. I really thought the actor of the three main characters were better. I actually at least appreciate what they tried to do with this triangle and flipped it.
Yeah.
But I do think the Axel character was so much of a douche.
Reprehensible human being. It's like
that
he's the one who's walking away with the win here.
You literally had to rechange this whole film to make him the bad guy, or in some sort like that. Like basically, you had a damaged good guy character and a complete bad guy character. I did appreciate the flop in the killers. Could they have executed it better? Probably.
Yes.
Most likely. By making...
And it did kind of annoy me by the fact that they kept having scenes with Tom and the miner together. Like, you see the miner shut Tom into the cage in the mine when he went to talk to Ben.
Yeah.
Like, don't have those two in the same scenes if it's going to be a mind-bending thing.
Yeah, and the remake, what they did was they revealed, like...
Well, that's what the remake. It's like with Tom in the miner. You don't see that in the original. You don't see Axel and the miner really in the same scene.
The sad thing is, I think these were both good films in the sense of in the slasher genre.
I think the miner deserves a lot more attention.
The look of the miner is like the best. Or if they ever do another remake or a sequel of some sorts, you better not change the miner look.
I'd put the miner look up against almost any of the legendary looks, because that look is great.
What makes that look so good is it's so intimidating that like you think like Jason's, Freddy's, they're all dead characters.
Yeah.
Like you have Leatherface, but this look is even more menacing than Leatherface.
Yeah, because the person behind the mask is alive.
And like 100% no supernatural stuff. It's just a look that makes you so scared. So my win is going to the remake. Justin's going with the original.
Next month, busting out the big cannon now. We're going to have the Thing remake versus original. John Carpenter's The Thing versus The Thing from Outer Space.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.